Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually take your drawing and we're going to transfer it to a computer, where you can, you'll be able to modify it, change it, program it, code it, okay? And I will come around and I will help you, okay? So the students are using these basic images of petroglyphs, these two-dimensional images, just like the Hawaiians, how they did it on the rocks. They get to do it though on the computers, but they get to do it in an easy way, creating these two-dimensional images on the computer, and then they get to learn about how to code it. They get to learn how to create a storyboard of their stories, and now you're tying in language arts, you're tying in narratives, so you're making other connections into their learning as well. There's your petroglyph sprite right there. Woo! Cool. Okay, now watch this. Okay.
So how did we come up with the idea of integrating computer science education with cultural education? So that's a really important question, and there's quite a bit of literature out there on the power of culturally relevant pedagogy. And that is a concept that emerged in the 1990s from a scholar named Ladson Billings from the University of Wisconsin. And she really argued that culturally relevant pedagogy is a way to leverage students' home culture as a source, as an asset, as a strength, in order to help them learn about other cultures and other important academic concepts and skills. And so we decided that for our project that we could leverage the idea of culturally relevant pedagogy to make computer science relevant to keiki here in Hawaii, but also to help onboard teachers with no background in computer science into teaching and feeling comfortable with talking about and helping facilitate instruction in culturally relevant computing.
You know what's so amazing is that you guys are doing block coding, but this is also JavaScript. So in the top right hand corner, it'll show your code in JavaScript. Try it.
Computer science education is thinking about the skills, knowledge, and practices that students should be familiar with related to the domain of computer science. So what does that mean? Well, that means things like understanding the impacts of computers on society, understanding programs and algorithms, understanding data and analysis, as well as how computers work. Ultimately, we want students to understand that computers are not magic. The internet is not magic. These are all things that have been built by people and are logical and work in certain ways with certain strengths and certain weaknesses.
So the first thing that happens is when you click on run, it says first. So when you click on first, it shows that Ku'ula gets the hook, Kahu'oi from Kamanuvai, and then it shows all of the aku. When you click on the aku, then...
So I think the petroglyphs going with the computer science is actually a great idea. The way that the story is and the computer science is. So learning it in the class makes me actually want to learn more, because knowing that you can make a story like this, and that you can make more, to me that is really amazing, and that would want me to do it a lot more than how we do it in the class. When I first started coding, it was difficult, but as time passed and I started practicing more and more, it became easy. I like coding because I can create stuff that can move and run and work the way I want it to work. So
I can make stuff do, and it will work the way I want it to work.
What we learned of Hawaiian culture, but he also incorporated the kind of culture that he enjoys, whether it's a gaming culture, whether it's a pop culture. But when I asked one of my students, what do you enjoy about this project? He said, because it's about me, Mr. Gonzales, about Hawaiian culture, about the fishing, about living on an island. This is about me, and that's why I enjoy it. And that's when students are connected to the lessons, it gets them engaged, and they take what is taught to them, the basics, the foundational skills that are taught to them, they take it to a higher level.
In the beginning of the project, when we really started thinking about what is culturally relevant computing, we really focused on that word culture and what does that word mean in Hawaii. And of course, initially we were really thinking about Hawaiian culture. We were really drawing on native Hawaiian culture related to history and language and practices. But we began to realize that Hawaii itself is actually a multicultural context, and there's lots of different understandings of the word culture. And so with our project, we've really tried to make our examples of culturally relevant computing culturally agnostic. And we model pop culture, Hawaiian culture, internet culture, video game culture, and lots of different understandings of that word culture. And the idea is to prepare educators to adopt and integrate whatever conceptualization of culture that is relevant to their students into the modules and the lessons. And that way we ensure that the culturally relevant computing modules are relevant to the students in the classroom. So we have a very broad conceptualization of that word culture.
Okay. All right, so Raiden is doing a field trip to the Big Island, and he's looking at some petroglyphs that are about 800 years old. And so he's going to be looking at. And so I mean, I enjoy working with the students, and I know that it's important for teachers. I mean, just like I get excited when students get excited, I also get excited when teachers are excited about teaching, and so I want to make sure that this professional development modules are available to all teachers in kindergarten through 12th grade in Hawaii, so that they're all excited about teaching their students in computer science.